Hello, welcome to Smosh Mouth. I'm Shayne.
And I am Amanda, and we have a very, very, very special guest with us today, Aurora Matrix, the runner-up of Canada's Drag Race Season 4. Oh my God.
Hello.
Super big fan.
Me too. I feel like this is so meant to be.
We met at DragCon this year.
Yeah, that was like months ago.
I know, and you were like, Sarah Christ, and I was like, hello?
She knows the lore.
And now you're here.
Here I am. I really did manifest this. I was like, I'm going to get on Smosh.
Yeah, we learned after Amanda and Tommy met you that you are arguably our biggest fan.
I mean, I definitely watch your videos every single night before I fall asleep. I think I literally sleep to Smosh Mouth podcasts.
Oh my God, it's that relaxing?
I don't know. Maybe it's like the brain rot conversations. Like,
Good.
I don't know.
It's because you're so dumb.
No, I love that.
No, it's just like when I'm like laying in bed and I hear Shayne try to tell a joke and then just break before you even get to the punchline. It's just so comforting because I'm like, oh, I'm a fly on the wall. I get to listen in on other people's conversations.
Oh my God, you really are a big fan because that's exactly what happens all the time.
That is the most accurate description of this show.
Literally, he warms up to tell a joke and then he just starts breaking.
and then just
before it
falls
happens.
apart.
You think about the punchline, you're like, it's too funny.
But it's funny for me. I'm having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You were getting a tour before we started recording, and you were like naming out references to things. Like you
Yeah.
recognized every room. You recognized small jokes here and there.
I saw the Chance mask from Let's Do This when
Yeah.
like how to cheat on a test.
That's
Great callback.
crazy.
There was the Crocs with the chicken on the feet when you guys were like hitting each other with pool
Yes.
noodles.
Yep, challenge pit.
By the way, when you threw the pool noodle
I got Chance.
and you got Chance, I was like, he is the chosen. He is the chosen.
Oh my God. I love this. And you were telling us that you've been watching Shayne since he was on So Random.
Yeah, it was definitely like when I was little, just watching TV and like loved you. Honestly, loved the whole cast. It was just like one of those where it's like, I can put this on the background and it'll be entertaining every single time. So yeah, sitting here, I'm like, whoa, big fan. Nice to see you. You're real. Like I could touch you if I wanted.
And then I just fade away into
You
mist.
just disappear. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, never mind. It was a mirage.
He's a hologram.
It means a lot. It's so funny. It was so random. Like when it was on, I felt like nobody was watching it, and then after like 5 to 8 years, suddenly people were being like, "Oh, I love that show." When I was younger, it's really cool.
How old were you when you were on the show?
I was 19.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was like barely alive.
We're old.
I like graduated high school like 2 years ago. I'm kidding.
Oh
I'm
my
kidding. I didn't.
God.
I'd believe it.
I was born
Okay.
in 2000.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. That's awesome. Aurora Matrix, you are incredible and a baby, and I love that so much. So you're our biggest fan, I think, kind of, pretty much.
Pretty much.
I want to hear more about you. Like, when did you start becoming a beautiful drag queen?
Oh my God. Well, I've been performing my whole life. When I was little, my parents put me in piano, in musical theater, in Chinese dance, choir. So I've been involved in the arts pretty much my whole life. And then when I went to high school, I auditioned for the drama program. And my mom was like, if you get in, you can pursue this. But if you don't, then you're going to your regular school and you're going to go into like
Whoa.
STEM or whatever,
That's
the sciences.
Ultimatum.
Yeah, so if anything, it kind of made me want to do it even more because I was like, well, I'm going to prove you wrong and I can do it. So I did the audition for my high school, got in, and they're like, okay, fine, you could do it. And then it came back to applications for university and college. And I was like, well, I want to keep going with this. And they were like, okay, again, if you get in, you can continue. And if not, find something else to do. So I auditioned and they accepted me on the spot. And I was like, well, acting conservatory, here we come. And since then, I've just been performing. And being in theater, I feel like I've already been involved in like makeup and the theatrics of everything and the extraness of everything. So one day I was like, oh, there's an open stage in Toronto. Let me just go. I love makeup. I love theater. Mash it together, and here I am, Aurora Matrix.
Wow.
God.
Yeah, that's kind of how it all started.
So you were born in Canada.
True North, strong and fierce.
Wow.
I was always curious how people get into like drag. Like, like how do you get your start in it? so many other types of performing, you kind of understand, like, oh, if you want to get into stand-up, you go to open mics. If you want to get into acting, you get an agent, you audition. But drag, I've never understood, where does it start? Like,
It's pretty much the same thing. Like, the open stages are just a stage where performers can just come for free. They're not paid or anything, but you can do a number, kind of get your name out, and that's how I started. My very first time performing, actually, there were people in the crowd who book shows and all that, and they saw me, and after my first 2 numbers, they came up to me like, we would love to book you, like, are you free on Tuesday? You can come to my show, do a couple of numbers. And that's kind of how I got the ball rolling. Went to that Tuesday show, and they're like, oh, we have another show on the Friday, do you want to come and do
you
it?
just started like gig life.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it started. And I was still doing school full time at this point. I was in my first year of university, so I was juggling school, doing shows until like 4 a.m. and then going to like a movement class at like 8:30. And I'm showing up, and all my classmates are like, did you not have a show last night? I was like, yeah, I've slept for 2 hours, but here we are. Let's go. Let's do some yoga or something. Like, I don't know.
Damn. That's so intense.
Yeah, but that's how I knew that I really wanted to do it, because I
Sure.
was willing to sacrifice my
Sleep?
my sleep, my mornings, my school life to do it, because I was like, oh, like this brings me joy. It doesn't feel like work to me. I genuinely do enjoy doing it.
How did you come up with your name?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
I always say Aurora like the princess, Matrix like the
Okay.
movie.
Badass.
Aurora's the chosen.
That is quite literally, that's chosen right there.
Yeah,
Totally.
so I had my start in makeup, and people always said that I never really had an ugly phase, because I started doing makeup before I even did drag. So when I first started doing drag, I already had my face down. I already kind of had an idea of what I wanted my drag
Interesting.
makeup to look like. So I always joke like, oh, I'm like Princess Aurora, Sleeping Beauty. I'm a pretty girl. And then Matrix, because when I perform, I'll give you splits, I'll give you turns, I'll give you drops.
like bullets or
Oh,
I mean,
like
the outfit right now is very
yeah,
Matrix.
like bullet time. Like I'll give you a backbend where like my hair is literally touching the ground. There are clips of me online of like me jumping off of a stage, like 6 feet off a stage, doing a split.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Things like that, you know.
You're unbelievable.
When I'm like in drag and performing, the adrenaline takes over, and you really don't think, and you just go for it. You pay for the consequences later.
You're stuck in a split. You're like, thank
Yeah,
you.
I feel like you guys can relate to that with like Smosh and just like fully
I can relate
committing
to
to
jumping off
can't
6
do a
feet and doing a
split. Everybody
split.
knows
Yeah,
you
I
can't
can
do a
relate to
split.
that.
I can do a split.
Can you?
Yeah.
I like
Right
how
now.
it was my goal, and then I failed horribly. And then one day you were like, "Hey, I did the splits today." I
Yeah.
was like, "That's cool."
It was. I wasn't
You're like, rub it in
trying.
my face.
I wasn't trying to do it. I just love doing yoga and stretching and then doing strength training. And then all of a sudden I got into it and I was like, and then I was like, I'm going to get out. I hope.
You're like, a new move has been unlocked.
Literally, it was unbelievable. It felt so
Oh my
good.
God, I'm so proud of you.
But to jump off a stage and going into it, I'm not sure I can.
It's easier. The momentum just pushes you all the way.
What? Oh my
Look,
God.
gravity's your friend. You just gotta trust the process.
You have to like rehearse that, or do you just sometimes just go for it in the moment?
The latter.
Wow.
Yeah, I never rehearse any of my numbers unless they're like dance numbers with dancers and everything. But I'm very like, feel the music, whatever I feel in the moment. Maybe I know like, oh, at this chorus, I'm gonna do some trick. After this bridge, when it like builds up to the last chorus, I'm gonna do a trick. But I never really plan out what I'm gonna do, because I also just like feed off the audience. Depending on what they're giving, then I'm gonna give that back.
You're a true performer.
Yeah.
You're like an improviser.
100%.
You are.
Yeah, and like also like the audience has to earn the tricks.
Yeah.
When I first started performing, like I would do a ballad and be doing like 6 splits, and I'm like, why are we doing a split in a ballad? Like Celine Dion, like in a gown. I'm like, 'cause I'm your. But you know, I learned, and like you have to let the audience kind of want and make them work for that trick, and it makes the tricks more impactful.
Cracks
Right?
me up. I love Celine Dion so much. So if I saw that happen and you did 6 splits, I literally
That'd be
Okay, well, if you're ever in the audience and I'm doing a Celine Dion song, I will do a split for you.
Okay, thank you so much.
It's funny. In Toronto, we have a couple like signals. This is split.
yeah?
That makes
This
sense.
is jump off a chair.
You guys have your own sign language.
Well, just like within my group, honestly.
Okay, this
So
is split.
if I'm performing and my friends are in the audience, they'll do this, and they're like, "Oh, I want you to do a split," or this, "I want you to
Funny.
jump off a stool into a split," and then this is cartwheel.
Wow.
Like it's baseball, and you're up there like,
You're giving your plays. Yeah.
and then you do the splits right there.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
That's so funny. Wow.
There's a whole formula to my performances for sure.
That's so incredible. And so eventually then you go on RuPaul's, which is like,
Well, not RuPaul's. I went on
Canada.
the Canadian version.
Canada
Whoa.
drag.
oh,
Canada's Drag Race, yeah.
Canada's
sorry.
Drag Race.
But yeah, the Canadian franchise of it.
got it. Which is, I just feel like those shows are kind of like the pinnacle. Like,
Yeah, like,
that's-
did you
The Olympics
know-
of drag,
It's
yeah.
huge.
Is that what
thing.
you were you weren't working towards that because you already knew that you loved doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you were you like, okay, I want to get on that? Was it one of your
Yeah.
goals?
It definitely was one of the goals.
Okay.
Well, when I started doing drag, Canada's Drag Race didn't exist. It wasn't
That's
a
what I
thing
was
yet.
gonna say. So RuPaul's was way before Canada.
Yeah, RuPaul's Drag Race, I think, was already on like the 10th or 11th season at that
Crazy.
point. And I just had loved it from like discovering it in high school. I remember watching YouTube videos and finding funny compilations, be like, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
people dressed in wigs? Like, what are they doing? I remember the first time seeing it being like, this is weird. Like, what are people doing? And then the
Interesting.
more I watched it, I was like, oh no, like, I kind of love the extravagance of it all. Like,
Yeah, you're a theater kid.
yeah, I grew up like listening to like Beijing Chinese opera from my parents and like Chinese
Whoa.
dramas of like ancient China. So it's like it's always the biggest costumes, the craziest makeup, feathers, pom-poms, all that. So as I started watching Drag Race, I was like, wait, I kind of love this and I kind of want to do that too. So I started doing drag, and then I remember this summer when the season 1 of Canada's Drag Race announced, and they were like, calling all Canadian queens. I was like, oh my God.
How old were you?
I think I was 19.
You were in school
Yeah, so this was the summer after I had finished my first year of school.
and you were already performing.
I was already
doing
performing.
drag.
Yeah, I think by like 3 or 4 months I was performing weekly at that
Wow.
point, with school as well.
Done.
Yeah.
So you hear the call, and you're like, I must go.
I must go, but I made a promise to myself. I was like, I'm gonna finish theater school first. I've already started, so I'm gonna finish school. And I went to my teachers at the beginning of my final semester, and I was like, I don't want to be an actor anymore. I'm gonna pursue being a drag queen. They're like, okay.
Are they surprised?
They weren't surprised because they knew that I was doing it. I remember in second year, one of my teachers pulled me aside and was like, technically you're not supposed to be doing drag. Because with the conservatory, you're not supposed to be performing outside of school. Because it's like you're supposed to be doing your training. They don't want you to like revert back to old habits before you're fully trained. But I was like, yeah, but I'm not really acting with like my out of drag like legal name. It's kind of like a persona.
Yeah, you're doing something
It's
else.
a character almost. So he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to a staff meeting. I'm gonna bring it up and I'll let you know. And he never brought it up again. So I'm sure the other teachers were like, it's fine.
Yeah.
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 Exactly. You weren't. And if he told you that you had to stop, were you going to?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not at the gay bars watching me perform, so like,
Well,
Well,
you know what? You're right.
you suddenly look out, and he's in the audience. He's going,
he's going. Bless,
Splits, or I'm cutting you off.
or you're done.
Or you're getting an F.
Okay, so then you don't go to the first casting call of Canada's Drag Race.
No, I don't submit a tape for season 1. I don't submit a tape for season 2.
Damn.
I don't submit a tape for season 3.
were you dying? Were you just?
I was dying to do it, and at this point, I was starting to really make a name for myself in Toronto, which was originally the goal. I wanted to be a regular girl in the city. If you say my name, I want people to be like, oh, I've seen her. She's at this bar or this bar. So that was the short-term goal until Drag Race came around. I was like, oh, I need to do that now. But I made it very known online that I was going to finish school first. So everyone was like, oh, she's not going to be on. She's in school. And then I posted that I graduated, and everyone online was like, she's going on. And that was also the year that I didn't post anything about the auditions. Like, I didn't post like, oh my God, exciting, blah, blah. I didn't comment on the post saying that there were applications open. And I think at that point, people were starting to think like, okay, this is her time. This is her moment. So I auditioned, they accepted my audition, and I went through the whole audition process. And it was very much like, oh, this is what I've worked towards. And like, I told myself, I'm going to finish school, I'm going to audition, and then I'm going to get on season 4.
How many people are
Whoa.
auditioning? Like in for Canada's Drag Race, like how many in that initial round are in?
Maybe like I don't know, hundreds, thousands.
Whoa!
It's a lot. It's definitely on a smaller scale than the States, just because
Yeah.
That's
in
still
Canada,
so
all the major
many.
cities are so spread apart. Versus you guys have a bunch of major cities in each state.
Yep.
Yeah.
Versus we have one province with one major city, and then you go to Montreal, and you go to Vancouver. It's everything's so spread apart.
And they're really far apart.
yeah.
I don't really think I know how many drag queens there are out there.
I mean, in Toronto alone, I would say I always joke weekly there's 100 new queens, just because everyone wants to do drag these days, which is totally fine. But it's just there are so many queens and it's so oversaturated. It's so hard to start drag now. I don't know how the girls are doing it now because when I was starting, it was very rare that there was a whole bunch of new girls coming in.
Right.
So I'm part of kind of maybe 2 generations before now. And now there's
Wow.
2 generations of girls after me.
Crazy. I mean, we messaged each other because Courtney and I were in Toronto a few weeks ago for Buffer Film Festival.
Yeah.
They had drag brunch.
With Miss Mosu.
Yes.
From season 3 of Canada's Drag Race.
Okay, so we couldn't go in and watch it because we had work to do. But we were outside right before, and someone was performing Celine Dion, "It's All Coming Back to Me Now," which is my karaoke song. And Courtney and I were like, we want, can we?
You're peeking in the door hello?
And then she came out in the lobby and then entered, and we were like, can we just come in there? And right then and there was so many drag queens right in our hotel, and we were just like, I just want to go back to Toronto and go see more drag shows because I was already, this is incredible.
Oh my God, please.
So have you ever done?
I have done, actually, the last time I did that gig was 3 days before the finale of my season.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you were performing outside of doing DragCon. I mean, not DragCon. Canada's
you're doing
Drag Race.
Well, Canada's Drag Race it's all pre-filmed.
Yeah.
But then
before the finale.
yeah,
release.
before the
Got it.
finale
Yeah, yeah.
release. And
So
then
you had to kind of keep, you couldn't talk about it.
no, at this point it was airing.
got it.
And I was performing right before the finale episode was going to air.
Okay.
And for the finale, they film multiple people winning. So there's footage of me winning, and then there's footage of Venus, the winner, winning.
And you were the runner-up.
And I was the first runner-up, so I was second place.
Wow.
Why
So-
did they do that?
So that no one knows who wins.
That's-
You find out who wins in the live airing of the show. So I'm sitting here from filming all the way to broadcast thinking there's a possibility I could win. There's footage of me winning. There's me holding the scepter, giving my thank you speech. It's
incredible.
It's a crazy experience. And filming it too is it's real, but it's not real because I know that they're also filming the other person winning.
Whoa.
So I was at this brunch
At Drake Hotel.
at the Drake Hotel going,
What?
find out this Thursday if I'm going to win because I don't know.
That's
insane.
That's
Yeah.
genius.
It's
Wow,
it's
because
such a wild
otherwise
concept.
people would find out.
Exactly.
People would definitely find
and
out.
I'm pretty sure they do that for the American seasons too. They started doing that after season 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race because it kind of leaked who had won.
Sure.
Oh,
So
yeah.
season 4 and on, when they started doing live finales in the States, they started recording multiple winners so that when they air the final edit of the episode, that's when you find out who wins.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So you were just performing brunch at the Drake Hotel, being like, I could have won. I don't know if I did.
Exactly. And I'm literally saying on the mic during my mic work, I don't know if I'm going to win, but you guys should come to the finale viewing party and watch me watch the episode. So I found out and watched the episode live and found out I lost in front of a live audience on stage.
That.
But to still get runner-up is so...
No,
I know,
100%.
unbelievable.
And I've always said, if it wasn't me, it was going to be Venus. She was going to be the other winner. So it was just such a crazy experience.
I feel because Courtney obviously watches tons of Drag Race, and it feels like it's almost sometimes not about winning, because they all make a name for themselves out of these shows, and they always come back onto the other
100%.
shows. So it kind of
spin-offs, all-stars.
It's kind of just the beginning, no matter where
Yeah.
you place, because I'm aware of Miss Vanjie. And that was
Angie.
and she was the first
She
one
was
kicked
first
off, but she
out.
became super famous from it.
And then she came back for the next season, and then was, I think, top 5 of her season when she came back. So it's really what you do with your
Right.
career after the show. And
It's just, it was so crazy when I was at DragCon because that was my first time at DragCon, and the queens were cracking me up.
Oh, the girls are funny.
Funny.
Yeah.
We'll say anything.
And literally also so loving and like connected and open, but also you could feel that they were like a tribe, like tight-knit tribe.
It's a sisterhood.
It really feels like
we
that.
jokingly see each other. We're like, oh my God, hey sister. But it kind of is.
It is.
You just have this bond because you've been through this process of going through Drag Race, and like it's a hard process, and like there's such a mental pressure on you of like you watch the show, you think it's going to be one way, and you get there and you're like, oh, but it's also a TV show. It's not just a competition.
Right.
So they're repositioning cameras, they're calling cut, they're refilming things, doing pickups, like things like that you never see on camera. So now when I watch new seasons, I'm like, oh, I know that took 20 minutes. Oh, I know that only took 2 minutes. Oh, I know they cut here and they refilmed that. Or I know they filmed that out of order. It's just like,
Literally.
whoa.
And I
kinda
guess-
like lowering the curtain a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
Like in most shows, they have a makeup department. You're getting your makeup done, but on Drag Race, you're all doing your own
doing-
makeup?
Yeah, you have 2 hours to do your entire
Everything?
your makeup, hair, jewelry, outfit, corset, audio, all within 2
Is
hours.
that enough time?
No, I usually give myself 3 hours in general to get
Yeah, I
ready.
was gonna say 2 hours to do miking
Everything.
and everything.
And you're also doing your makeup, and a little story producer is crawling under the table going, hey, can you ask them about coming out? Can you ask this person about their relationship with their mom?
Because you're getting filmed right
Because
there.
it's a show.
That aspect of reality TV is I always forget about that, of like all the conversations that are happening. It's like producers are kind of,
There's literally someone sitting, like imagine if like Selina was sitting on the table here going, hey, can you ask Shayne about this?
most episodes, that's what
That's
we do.
no, she
I'm
usually
actually,
is
petting,
right
I'm actually
here.
petting her right now.
She's very tiny,
So dainty.
so cute.
But yeah, there's like you're getting ready, but there's so many moving parts happening.
Wow.
And like sometimes you're doing your makeup and they're like, okay, girls, can you guys keep quiet on this side? We're gonna film something on this side, and like, oh, we're gonna re-have this conversation.
And some of you guys have never been in front of a camera before.
I would say like most of the girls
Right?
are usually used to just an on-stage presence,
Right.
compared to like on camera. So like, don't look straight at the camera, but be aware that you are being
hard
filmed. You
not
have
to.
cheat out.
It's totally different. I will say having like a stage presence helps you guys so much.
Oh, 100%.
Like if you didn't, if you just came from camera and then went to stage, I think that would be way harder. Mm-hmm. But it's so crazy because it looks so. I mean, that's reality TV.
They do such a good job of making
It looks so natural.
yeah.
Are they ever telling you things that you're like, I don't want to ask that? No.
Are you ever
Yes.
saying no to the producer?
Like I would say you could, but like for me, knowing how it worked, I was like, well, if I say no, that's less screen time. They probably have an overall storyline that they have for me. So if I'm saying no to that, who knows? They might just kick me off. They might find a reason to send me home.
Oh, interesting.
Right? Like there's so many aspects that I'm like, when you're there, you're aware of that. And you're like, oh, I know that they're watching. I know
Right.
that they're listening. Your mic is always on. So even when you're like off the set and you're just on the side waiting, they're listening in on everything. So if you say something like, oh, I'm stressed, like I didn't finish zipping this up or I didn't finish sewing this up, the judges are going to call that out. They're going to be like, oh, we noticed that you didn't finish the back of this dress. Like, it's because they're always listening. Like producers are always listening.
Because they're trying. Do you think that they created a storyline that wasn't necessarily you? Or did you think like, okay, they understood me? Or were you.
Overall, I feel like they got my story. Also because I had so many storyline points that I had given them initially, like relationship with my parents, my history in theater, how I got my start in drag. So I knew that they had a good storyline for me, but you never know. You
never know.
Like I'm not looking at the storyboards, looking at what they have laid out for me, right?
Are there definitely times in your season, but probably other seasons, where there's drama happening, but as soon as like everyone's offset, they're like, oh yeah, we're just playing this up. There's no real drama.
Oh no, when on my season.
I was going to say, I was like, no, I think it's real.
The drama's real.
On my season, when it was episode 4, we had just did the design challenge. And one of the queens, her name's Melinda Verga. Hi, Melinda, I love you. I miss you. I remember.
Does she watch the show too?
I don't know.
Hi, Melinda.
She's
love
watching
you.
this just like
She was actually just on Traders Canada.
Oh my God.
So good on her. She just got kicked off.
We love you. We love you. We miss you,
love
Melinda.
you. Go fuck yourself.
With gratitude. But Melinda blew up and she was like, fuck the judges, fuck you, fuck all of you. You think this is Vivienne Westwood inspired. She was popping the fuck off and it was giving Delulu because we're like, do you see your outfit, girl?
Vivienne Westwood.
Like we all thought she had like tailored 4 different jackets to make it like a patchwork one jacket. We find out it's one jacket that she just kind of cut the sleeves off and reattached. So we're like, oh, it's not as impressive as we thought.
Yeah.
So she was going off, flipping tables, walking off like, I'm done with this. I hate this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there going, Melinda's crazy. Like she's about to like throw hands. And then after watching it back, and I'm like, oh no, Melinda is crazy, but with good intentions. But I remember we had finished wrapping that episode, and we were all just kind of getting out of drag. It's silent because they're like, we're not allowed to talk when the cameras aren't rolling. We're not allowed to talk when the cameras aren't rolling because they want to keep everything on camera.
Oh my
fascinating.
God. Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole world. So we're silently
silent.
taking off our makeup. There's tension in the room, and I just kind of go up to Melinda. I was like, hey, like, just want to make sure like nothing was personal, but it's just like, we're here because we all want to be here. And for you to say that you don't want to be here anymore really struck a chord with all of us. And she was silent. She didn't really respond to me. She just went, okay, thank you. It was like so uncomfortable.
But she probably respected that.
I'm sure. And it was just like kind of like in the moment, she was like, let me just get through the rest of this day. Let me get out of drag. Let's get back to the hotel. We'll come back tomorrow fresh and new. And she did. She came back. We started it's like new day in the workroom, all that. You come in, you kind of sit around the table. You're like, okay, girl, so let's talk about what happened last episode. And she's like, well, I want to start off by saying I'm sorry. And like she had that whole thing. But in the moment, you're sitting there going, oh my God, this is going crazy.
She's crazy.
My only regret, I wish I inserted myself into that argument more. I was like, I'm watching it back. I was like, oh, that was an iconic like argument. I wish I was in that argument, like saying like, Linda, sit the f down. Like, you don't need to be popping off like this. The judges are here to give you critiques. Mm-hmm. It's their job.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's so easy to go back and watch your season and be like, damn, I wish I just...
Everything in
I
retrospect. You're seeing things from a different point of view. But in the moment, you're sitting there like, oh my God.
You're protecting yourself. You're like, I don't want to...
Well, also, I'm aware that like it's going to be on TV. So
Right.
like if I see something too controversial, are the fans going to hate me? Are the
That's
fans
true.
going to come for me for coming for whoever? Like, it's just... Yeah.
Having that balance on reality TV is, we've talked about how difficult that is, of like being entertaining without being too much of a villain.
Or just going full on into the villain, which I feel like you can either choose to be or the editors are like, you're the villain.
Well, yeah, if you're going to commit, you're going to have to go like full throttle.
Full throttle.
Like you really just have to go for it, or else it's just like, oh, she has no personality and she's just playing this
Right.
persona
Exactly.
that isn't real. And people can clock that. People will be like, oh, she's fake as f***.
That's insane
Yeah.
because you're balancing reality TV show and then also, correct me if I'm wrong, you're bringing all your outfits. You're bringing everything.
And you make all your outfits?
Well, I don't make all of my outfits, but someone makes them, and then I commission them to make it, and then we bring it all. It's like crazy. You have like 6 or 7 giant boxes. I think I had 4 giant tubs that were like the size of this table, and then I had 2 giant suitcases.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. You had to bring in everything.
Wild.
Yeah,
You
and they
didn't know-
have weight limits. They have dimension limits on your boxes and suitcases so that to keep it fair for everyone. Because like not everyone's gonna have the same boxes, but they're like you have to stay within these dimensions.
Well, yeah, you can't bring like a crazy outfit. with,
Well,
like, head-
people
I mean,
do, and I'm like, how did you pack
fit
that?
it,
You
they
have to
fit
get
it in
like
there.
make things so that it can also collapse or it can fold up. One of my drag sisters on the show, she always we called it the lettuce because she had this outfit that was this giant green emerald outfit with all these extra pieces, and I'm like, that literally is bigger than the hotel room. I'm like, I don't understand how you packed this.
She collapsed it down.
It like folds over, collapsed it down. She brought like giant flat screen TV boxes, and that's how she packed her like.
Wow.
Oh, she like compressed it.
Compressed it all down, and I'm like, you are so smart. I was
crazy.
like, I'm just gonna like fold everything up and. Just
I never
steam
would have thought
everything
about that
out.
aspect of it.
No, that's one
Wow.
thing that if I were to ever go back for another season, I'm going to ask her how she packed. Because, like, the outfits that she brought, I was like, that's not fitting in a car. How are you going to bring that here?
Literally insane.
I don't know how you put that on a plane. Like, I was lucky that I was in Toronto.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I didn't have to fly out to do.
So
to get to-
people flew in.
Yeah, so people who weren't in like close by had to fly in. So I was like, oh my god, that's a whole other thing to
sucks.
deal with.
Would you do it again?
I would. I mean, right now I want to like give myself time to like to tour, travel, go to different places and perform because I want to get that experience of just like working full time as a Drag Race girl and like just get a sense of what it's like to live the fantasy, you know?
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, if the opportunity were to come up again, I don't think I would pass it up. I would do it.
Yeah. How long is it? How much time do you have to dedicate to it? Is it like how long is the shooting?
I don't know if I can reveal, but but you're sequestered, you're quarantined, my season we called it gay prison.
Wow.
we called it gay prison, and I'm for weeks I'm sitting alone in my hotel room with no iPad, no phone, no nothing. All I have is whatever's on HGTV, on Showcase, on Paramount.
No.
It's just
Law and Order.
Yeah,
Forensic
I
Files.
watched a lot of Bar Rescue.
Oh my God, Bar Rescue. Jesus.
with John Taffer. Like
that show's insane.
Like I should have done John Taffer for Snatch Game.
That's so
By
funny.
the end of filming, I knew him from the head. I knew him in and out. I knew everything about him. I was watching like the Property Brothers, like
such hyper masculine people on TV.
Rock the Block. I was like, I don't know, all these like
So funny.
random hotel TV shows, and I'm like, well, this is all I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Stop. That's
I think the only thing that I brought for my own entertainment was like a word search book from the
Okay.
dollar store.
Okay.
And like I'm on the phone with like the Queen Care, like the Wranglers who are like helping us out.
Care.
Queen
Or Queen's
Care.
Care. And I'm on the phone with them in the hotel room, like doing my word search. Like, oh, can you search up what an orb weaver spider is? That's my next thing on the word search.
Oh
Or
my
I think one of the word searches were called "Let's make a salad," and all the words you had to find were just ingredients. So I was literally going, "How do you feel about tomatoes?" as I was looking for things. Like, okay, we're moving on to Parmesan cheese. How do you feel about that?
Holy shit.
Yeah, you really
God.
just have to like find ways to entertain yourself.
Wow.
That's the most insane thing I've
That's
ever heard.
so funny.
And then you can call the office to be on. I'll be like, "Can you put me on the queue for outside time?"
Oh my God, you really
Outside
are in gay
time.
jail. Do you
Yeah,
say gay jail
gay
or
prison.
gay prison? Oh,
Gay
prison
Gay
is very
prison.
different than jail.
Oh,
Just making that up.
So you had to literally ask to
be let out.
outside.
you
Can
had
I have some, let's make a salad. Can I have some outside time?
Can I have some sunlight privileges, please?
Would they literally like supervise you when you went outside? Like someone standing by it, like off in the distance, just like watching?
Queen's Care.
Let me tell you. So you're going, can I be put on the queue for a walk? Can I be put on the queue for an outside time? And they'll go, great, we've added you to the list. We'll give you a call when someone's on the way. So you're just sitting there. You don't know how long the queue is because other queens are probably asking to go outside too. So I'm like, maybe like half an hour later, someone will call you, be like, hey, this is so-and-so from the office. Like, oh, hey, it's so-and-so speaking. And they'll be like, oh, this person's coming to get you. Have your mask ready. Have your headphones ready. We'll be ready to pick you up. So they come and pick you up. You have to have your earbuds in, playing music, head down so you can't see anyone, just in case like the public sees you. I don't know how obsessive the fans are.
Mm-hmm.
They bring you outside and they're literally just sitting on the bench with you as you're just having outside time.
No.
Like it's like a chaperoned timeout.
No.
So just like on a bench outside of the hotel.
It's so awkward.
It's really uncomfortable.
And you're listening to music?
You're listening to music, and all the music you're listening to is just all the lip sync songs that they give you. It's like
Okay.
it's literally like an old school MP3 player with like the USB at the end that you can uncap.
Stop.
You're like clicking through, like you can listen to the radio, I guess, if it can connect to the service or whatever.
Are they speaking to you?
No, they're pretty much like not allowed to. They can have like
They're not allowed to speak to you.
It's like the only conversations you're allowed to have are like very surface level conversations. Anything that can't be applied to Drag Race. So you can talk about.
Is this the Hunger Games?
Yeah, you can talk about Beyonce, but you can't talk about how Beyonce has influenced your life because that could be content for the show.
Oh my God,
Isn't that-
they're just like organizing all the content so
They're
you don't
literally
say anything.
content farming these queens. They're like, okay, we have you for this amount of weeks. We're gonna get the most out of you while you're here.
I can't handle. I find that so cringy to sit next to a person you don't really know, and you're like, just like,
And you just have to-
birds.
Or like you can ask for like a 20-minute walk around the block.
Do they come with you?
Well, yes. So it's like they're taking their dog out for a walk, but it's me.
I can't handle that.
And like I remember when I was there, the first few weeks it was still like chilly out. So like we're like bundled up in like jackets with my hood up, with my music up, and we're just like walking in silence. I have my music playing, so I can't hear what she's
So you're not allowed to listen to the outdoors. You have to have music on when you're outside.
Yeah, because they're trying to limit any influences of the outside world while you're filming. Because that also will put a timestamp of when the season was filmed if you're making references to things that are happening in the moment.
You're like, the leaves are changing. And they're like, you're not supposed to know
No,
that.
you can't say that. We're not in the fall. I'm like, okay, like the trees are nice. Love leaves.
So intense.
I don't know, but
Wow.
it definitely is like, I love that I got to experience that because it is like that is crazy, right? Like in the moment, you're
Yes.
like, whatever, like I'm here already. But you look back at it and you're like, that was crazy. That was absurd. Like that's not normal.
No, I think it's fair to say that's not normal.
I feel like on reality shows like The Circle or something, I feel like they did some intense shit like that, but that, like, to not be able to like hear the outside world.
Yeah, and like all the queens are on different floors, so we never pass by each other.
You only see each other on set.
You only see each other on set.
You don't know who would even be in your season.
No, I found out who was on my season pretty much when I walked into the room.
Wow.
Do you know any of them? Have you like performed with a lot of
I
them?
haven't
or-
performed with any of them before the season, but I think out of the 11 girls that we had, there were only 2 girls that I hadn't like heard of, and they were from like smaller cities in Canada. But like the girls from like the big cities, Montreal, Vancouver, and the other Toronto girls that were with me, I knew the name at least, or I had chatted with them online. So we were like mutuals, especially over the pandemic. Like we kind
Sure.
of connected with so many people.
Oh yeah, right.
So many people across Canada. So getting there was like, oh, it's nice to meet you. Like I've known you now for 3 years online, but we've never met before.
Insane.
Yeah. It's wild. And then when you're prepping for the show, you're like, there's like rumors of who got casted or who might be asking so-and-so for commissions for looks. Like, oh, this person just got 3 wig commissions, all with the same due date. Or this person is also asking me for an outfit with a similar theme to what you're asking me for. So like, you kind of put the pieces together of like who is the potential cast for your season, but you don't find out until you actually get there and you walk
Wow.
into the room and you see the other girls there.
Wait, when you say wig commissions, what exactly do you mean?
So you kind of get a list of the runways that we're going to be doing, the themes. So for example, we had one runway called Gemstones. So I decided to do the jade gemstone.
Love.
And my look, the concept was I'm going to be my mother's jade necklace. So because she had this giant jade necklace of this goddess called Guan Yin. So I was like, I'm going to be the Guan Yin Jade Empress. So I painted my whole self green. And I had this blonde wig that was like chain links, like giant. We went to like the dollar store, got foam rings, and then
To be like a necklace, but it's your.
but it's my hair.
Yeah.
Like my hair is the chain.
Oh
necklace,
my God,
and I am
incredible.
the jade pendant. So like I asked like one of my besties, and she's currently on the next season of Canada's Drag Race season 5, which is super exciting.
Amazing.
But she had to basically figure out how to make a chain link hair that'll sit on my head. I don't understand it, but it's true like
No, I think
wiggatry.
it's incredible.
It's so interesting.
Wow. That's wild.
It's unbelievable what you have already done.
I know, and it's weird to think that like this is technically the beginning of my drag
Yeah.
career. Like this is that big jumping off point.
It's all your training.
Yeah. So like I've been doing drag now for almost 6 years coming January. But for the first 6 years, that was all prep for the beginning of my career. And I'm like, this is now the start of my international world debut.
Wow.
So cool.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of any job in entertainment of any sort. Like it takes so long to get it going.
There's so much prep, so much work behind the scenes before you even get to do it.
Yeah, people are like, oh my
Exactly.
God, you're on Smosh, like so cool. And it's like, yeah, I've also been training for over 10 years.
You're like, I'm a
in
trained
improv.
actor, and like I went to school for it and all that, or
You're
whatever.
like, whoa, so cool. And it's like, yeah, I've been working.
I try.
This episode is brought to you by Aura Frames. Amanda, holiday season is upon us.
I know.
Are you good at getting gifts for people?
I feel like I wait till the last minute, but I feel like this year I'm going to get started early because, you know, a lot of my family lives on the East Coast and I live in California. And the best thing to get them is an Aura frame because I am doing so many things out here and I want them to see it. And it's so nice to send it to an actual picture frame, like a digital picture frame rather than just your phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, because you can upload stuff straight from your phone. You can have so many photos on it, which is so great. Memories are just like the best gift. I
Yeah.
mean, for so many family members, it's like that's going to bring a tear to their eye.
Or if you're sharing big news.
Yeah, I've given it as a gift to my family before, and it was a huge hit. For a limited time, visit auraframes.com and get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using promo code SMOSH at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code SMOSH. This exclusive Black Friday Cyber Monday deal is their best of the year, so don't miss out. Terms and conditions apply. Back to the show.
Let's go.
So, going back, when did you start watching Smosh?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Because so you weren't able to watch Smosh while you were on.
No, unfortunately not.
They
No,
robbed
definitely
you.
not.
Now that would have gotten me through the quarantine period.
Yeah, literally.
I think my earliest memory of Smosh was back in the Ian Anthony days.
Okay.
Whoa, okay.
And my memory was probably Food Battle.
Great.
Whoa.
So you're an OG.
But but at the time I wasn't like a huge fan. It was more like a couple of my friends were really big fans, and I would like go home after school with them and be like, oh, there's a new Food Battle, and be like, oh, I love this. Every year we do this. So that was kind of my introduction to Smosh, and then I think I kind of fell off of Smosh a little before Anthony left.
Okay.
And then, for a long time, I kind of didn't have any connection with Smosh. And then in the past year, I have crazy hyperfixations on YouTube. So one day, just like an episode of Smosh Mouth came up. So I was like, oh, like I know who Shayne is. Let me watch an episode. And then I fell in love with the conversations and just learning that like, oh, every person on the cast also has like their little like character tropes too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Amanda has a hyphenated last name, Boston, this and that. like
That's Amanda.
Like it almost
true.
became like a character study for me of like, oh my God, I want to learn about all the different people at Smosh now
love
because
that.
it's a full cast versus just Ian
Yeah.
and Anthony.
Yeah, there's like 15 of us.
Yeah, and
Including that.
I think that is so interesting and such a fun addition to the channel compared to what I knew what it was years ago. So yeah, for the last year, I've just been hyper fixated on Smosh, like every night just finding a new episode of something that I haven't watched. And there are like podcast episodes that I always go back to and like
really?
rewatch over and over and over again.
Which can I ask which ones?
Yeah, let me name a few. Your Shakespeare reading, for
That
Taming
is
of the
so
Shrew.
cool.
So cool.
That is
And also
so
because
cool.
like that's like something that I'm familiar with, like having studied theater and Shakespeare. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm like listening to you guys do this, but in a way more entertaining way than what I knew.
Yeah. Modern
He looked
version.
gorgeous in that hat.
Oh, and my mustache.
And your
Like my mustache.
the mustache was a lot.
My mustache. I looked like a potion seller.
Angela going ew ew ew. I was like, yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
I put it on and I was like, oh my God.
But it wasn't as bad as when Angela had the mustache on for something, and the
Oh,
mustache just
Detective,
kept,
where's my coffee?
Detective, where's my coffee?
and it just kept going
It
up.
became
I
the
was
Batman
like,
symbol.
That's gross.
It was nasty. And at one point, I think in one video, I had to switch mustaches with her, and it was so gross.
Was it really wet and sweaty?
It was really wet and sweaty. and I regretted it immediately.
Angela's gonna love this conversation.
I told her to her face.
Stuff.
Angela, wet
We have
and
that
sweaty.
relationship.
I also love the episodes where you do try not to laugh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're
which
always
I think
fun.
you should do more. Do please
more.
do
Okay.
more. Of
Okay,
those.
okay.
I have so much fun watching them because I'm also like, can I sit there with a stone cold face? And I'm like, no, I'm like sitting there like literally smiling at like all the little jokes before you even get to the punchline. I'm already like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I know what they're gonna say.
Yeah. It's tough.
I also love the April Fool's episode with Angela and Chance.
Yeah.
As
Proud of that.
us,
As you guys,
we
like,
were sitting right there when they were doing that.
which is hilarious. Like knowing that you guys are watching and them just making jokes. Like, are you lying? Are you lying?
That's a good impression of Chance.
it's an
doing
impression
me.
of Chance doing you.
It was
Killed it.
perfect.
and then Angela's just like,
lying?
of course, yeah.
That moment, the like countdown into the reveal of Angela in the lime shirt might be my favorite moment on this podcast.
Literally.
Because it was just so incredible.
It was so good. And Chance was like practicing with me, and he was just like, I worked there.
The
yeah, I worked
aspirated
there.
breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I had
Absolutely
a job there.
crushed.
Did you know I worked there too?
Yeah, I worked there too. Yeah.
I'm like, Amanda, you've had a life before Smosh.
I was like, bitch, okay.
It was so good.
No, because you guys, I feel like, are already caricatures. And then seeing a caricature of a character, I'm just like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
I
a
love
lot of
this so
layers.
much.
It was so fun.
So you've watched pretty much every episode of Smosh Mouth, maybe every episode by this point.
I don't know. There may be some that I've missed here and there, but like I always
okay.
scroll back and there's just like a watched tag on like a majority of them.
But you've watched us a lot, so you know us fairly well, and we have a bunch of scenarios here. Selina compiled a bunch of questions where you're going to have to choose Amanda or me.
It's kind of like what we did at DragCon, Tommy and I, but a little bit different.
But now I know who I'm picking.
Exactly.
And don't worry, we will not be offended.
No.
We won't be offended, but you just have to make
Girl,
a decision.
no.
Okay. I'm gonna stick by my choices.
Okay.
I'm
Yes.
ready.
Stay strong.
I know it's in the comments. You can leave your answers to these as well. You have one extra ticket to a concert. Who are you taking?
Oh, it depends on what the concert
That's
is.
so true.
Okay, music concert, musician, a big
Depends on which
musician. I feel like there's a correct answer to this one.
I'm gonna say Amanda.
Yeah, I think that's the correct.
I know you're very into music right now.
I've been
I
getting
think Shayne would be like this.
Yeah.
No, I think
Good.
Amanda would be way more fun at a concert than I would.
I think we would have a good time.
I think that we would too.
I'm a good like.
Sorry, Shayne.
I'm
Sorry,
a good like
Shayne.
third or fourth at a concert. Like I'm there also.
Yeah.
But you bring the people that are gonna be fun. You guys are having a blast, and I'm there nearby. Just
At a
kinda like,
concert, are you on your feet dancing?
Yes.
And everything? Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
I would
Yes.
imagine.
I'm
If you're,
like,
if you're getting a ticket
yay!
with a seat, you're not sitting in the seat.
No, you're standing.
you're standing and
I'm
bopping.
not filming the whole time. That's another thing about me. You know how
Oh.
people just stand there and go,
You see, I like to look up the set list beforehand. I know some people are against that, but I look up the set list because I want to know when to film certain songs.
Okay.
So I know, like, the
smart.
next song is going to be my favorite song. Let me film a little clip, and then I
So
get
smart.
to enjoy it.
Yes.
Versus being
Really
like, oh my
smart.
God, I can't believe I missed it.
I know.
Like, I don't want to
know.
panic.
Yep.
That's really smart. You're on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Who are you calling for your lifeline?
Oh,
I'm going to go with Shayne for this one.
that's smart.
It depends on the question.
No, literally, that's the correct answer.
I think it depends on the question.
Especially if it's a really niche topic. I'm like,
Okay.
I'm sure, I feel like you would know like a random thing and be like, oh yeah,
Okay.
it's this, and this. I read a book on this, and be like, of course you did.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
thank
literally
you.
Shayne.
Thank you. I think there's a correct answer to this one as well. You have a +1 to a wedding. Who are you taking? Yeah, I mean,
Period.
come on.
Amanda, you want to come to a wedding with me?
Period. Yes. Of course.
I know you love
You're gonna
talking
look
about
so.
weddings.
You're gonna. I know my wedding colors. You're gonna look so much better than me. But yes, I will be there.
You would. I
We're
feel
both
like
going in drag.
Okay. Oh my God, me in drag. Excellent.
And also in like platform heels, you would be like 10 feet tall.
Oh, I know. I've put on platform heels. People are like, Mama.
Imagine you in like the disco era, you would have been like,
People would have been like, everyone would have been like, Mommy, Daddy. I would be like, come to me.
oh yeah, I could see it.
I thought you were quoting Barbarian there for a
I was.
second. You were.
Mama. I love that movie when it's like, Mama.
Oh, yeah, if you're coming to a wedding with me, we're both going in drag.
Oh my God. Okay.
Actually, you can get in drag and you can come with too.
Okay.
I would love to watch. Shayne in a dress is the most amazing thing I've ever seen because he's so buff. Yeah, exactly. Boom.
No, literally, Shayne walked by this morning in the office when he first got in, and I didn't see his face, but I saw the walk.
He literally is breaking pavement every time he walks.
I saw the walk, and I was like, there's space between the torso and the biceps.
Yep. Boom, boom, boom.
Speaking of biceps, this that you've recently did.
Oh, I forget what I did. Oh, yeah, I was like in a games video or something, right? Where I won something and I just started doing
that. I
can't.
I can't believe I'm seeing this live. I literally had to pause the video and rewind because I was like, he is so dainty. I was like, I've never seen someone so muscular but so delicate. And the face you made just like in pure bliss.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, that's
Having a great
so
time.
cute.
I'm like, I do that sometimes, and I'm like, no one gets the reference. But I'm here laughing. Like,
Just like, yeah. That's so cute.
okay. You somehow landed in jail. Who's your one phone call?
gay prison.
Gay prison.
You're in gay prison. Who's your one phone call?
Ooh.
This is to
literally
help
could
you
be
get
either.
out. I would assume.
Oh,
Like,
to
you're
help
in
you
jail.
get
I assume you're in jail. You
I'm
have
like,
one-
who
you
has
have
more
one phone
money
call?
to bail me out? I'm like, please. What did I get in jail for?
That's on you.
I'm gonna call Amanda. I feel like a little mom friend would.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'd probably beat some guards up to get you out of jail. They were like,
I respect that
You
choice.
can take her. Just take her. And I'm like, no, I'm going to fight you guys. They're like, she's
All right,
ready to go.
fine.
Calling Amanda.
Thank you.
This one's good. You get to Freaky Friday with one of us. Who are you choosing?
Whoa. Okay. Okay, wait. I need to think about this. Freaky Friday with someone.
Literally, it would be two completely different lives. Maybe not.
Yeah, not only our bodies, but our lives is also here.
Yeah.
This might be a crazy answer.
Okay.
Shayne, I want to switch with you so that I can hang out with Courtney.
That's at first I was like, you're gonna say Amanda, but then I was like, oh, but then you get to hang out with Courtney.
And then you get to be
Yeah.
in that body. Just
I
stomping
know.
pavement, breaking
I get to do that in that body.
breaking the floor.
You get to be in this body and be like, oh, it hurts.
I just want to like yell in testosterone, screaming in asterisk.
You try
screaming
to
in
put on all your
testosterone.
clothes, you're like,
Oh my god, it doesn't fit. No, if I was in your body, I would get myself in drag and just be like,
But then you wouldn't be able to do the splits.
gravity. Remember?
you would break every muscle in his thighs. So it would be like,
But it's not my body.
that's so true.
I wake up the next day just like,
Aurora, what the f- did you do?
oh my god! I just wake up
That's
in the hospital.
So funny.
Okay, you're in a pickup basketball game. Who's on your team?
Amanda. She's
Yeah,
taller.
that's
Obviously.
fair.
Although I'm not good at basketball.
That's okay.
I don't know.
Not,
I could try again.
I'm not good either. We can be bad at it together.
Okay, great. Thank you.
This is interesting. You're lip syncing for your life. Who are you going against? Who would you rather go against?
yeah, who would you rather go against? Who would you
I think
rather
that's
win
also
against?
That's also an easy answer. I feel
I'd
like.
go against. Well, if I wanted to win,
Yeah.
Shayne.
Yeah. I don't know the lyrics to
Yeah.
songs.
I do love.
I am so bad at it.
But I feel like if it depends on the song, really, because like you could lip sync to like a monologue.
yeah, you just have
Yeah.
to
Like
sell
you
it.
could lip sync to a funny comedy number, and honestly, I think both of you guys would do really well with that.
Okay.
As long as
Okay.
you learn the words.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to learn the words.
I'd have to really practice.
And if you forget the words, what do you do? Do you still move your mouth, or you just go like?
You
Just vibe.
there are two ways that I go. If I'm committing to the song, I'll just try to fake it till I make it. Like you just gotta get to the, at least as long as you get the end of each sentence, it kind of hides the rest of it. You kind of watermelon cantaloupe it. But if it's like more of like a comedy number, I'll literally either move my hand to it.
Smart.
Like Beyonce Crazy in Love, whenever Jay-Z comes in, I just go,
Smart.
or if it's like a group number with like my sisters and like I don't know the song well, I'll literally be like,
Oh, I
Funny.
love that.
and like they're popping off and I'm like,
I love
like
that.
you make a moment of it.
Yeah, yeah,
You make
yeah,
it
yeah.
funny, and it's like if I'm not gonna lip sync to it, I'm gonna commit to not lip syncing.
Yes.
To it.
Exactly.
Love it.
You have to let one of us give you a tattoo. Who are you choosing?
God.
After the Gardic phone video, I'm gonna have you do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
not
pleasantly
me.
surprised with how artistically talented you are.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, do not choose me. I know how to draw a tree, and that's about it. I've like mastered.
So if you get a
tree.
tattoo of a
Well,
tree,
if I need to get a tree on me, then I'll
okay,
come
that'll
to you.
be me.
this next question is insane. If you were tied to the train tracks in the trolley problem, you're alone and the other lane has more people, who do you want to solve the problem?
What?
It's a psychotic question.
So you're basically asking who of the two of you would be more likely to save me?
The way the trolley problem works is the train is going towards a lane that has 5 people tied to it.
Yeah.
But you can switch it to one that has 1 person. But you have to make that decision. So
So you want someone to make that decision, either save you or save the others, right?
yeah.
That's so
But the-
sad and dark.
I will
How
say
did
this.
I get on the track?
I will say this. Yeah, but we need to
put me
figure
there?
out.
Good question.
We need to break down the system that set this up. The problem. This isn't the trolley problem because we know one of the people that creates a bias.
Yeah.
The trolley problem. They need to
So
all
who
be
do you
strangers.
think would be save the people, or be like, no, I'm gonna save Aurora?
I think you should
I'm
pick-
gonna pick you.
I think Amanda.
The way I just said that, I'm like,
Amanda's
save
gonna,
the
Amanda's
people.
gonna look at the tracks and be like,
Say the people
oh,
or save
Aurora.
Aurora.
Oh, Aurora! Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys. I know her.
I know her.
I know
so
her.
sorry. Oh, it's happening. Bye. Sorry.
I'm like on the track, like Amanda. I have a wedding to get to.
Oh, done, bitch.
Shit, I gotta go.
Turn.
The colors of the wedding are mustard yellow.
Oh, done, bitch.
Done.
Yeah.
Okay, you can only listen to this person's playlist for the whole day. Who are you choosing?
Oh, I don't really know what your music taste is like.
That's true.
It's all over the. I'm all over the place.
Probably me.
Yeah, I would say maybe you.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
What do you like to listen to?
Oh well, I mean,
loves Journey, he loves Imagine
I don't
Dragons.
like Journey or Imagine Dragons.
Oh, I was like, you like songs that are like anthems. Like could
American anthem.
be like, yeah, songs that make white people go crazy.
I heard someone recently do it.
No, I'm kidding.
You
but
know those
also,
playlists that's
Yeah,
like
that's
songs
like
white
Small
people
Town
get
Girl.
turned to,
They're like, yeah.
like Sweet Caroline, bum bum bum.
like Imagine Dragons. That's every song.
Yeah.
Okay. We have if you're Bonnie, who's Clyde? If you're Thelma, who's Louise?
Oh. Bonnie Clyde.
I think I'm also gonna say Amanda.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Thank you.
Are you my bias?
Yes.
Wow.
So sorry, Shayne.
That's okay.
Bye, Shayne. You have to go now.
I'm hosting this now.
You actually could.
You can only get a Christmas gift from one of us. Which gift would you want?
Ooh,
I think I know this answer.
I would say Shayne.
Yes,
Really?
that's what I would say too.
Because I think I would get really like absurd, like
Okay.
gifts. Like something that like
Okay.
no one would think about, but it would be like an inside joke or
Okay.
or a reference to something that would be really funny. I think it would be like
Okay.
memorable moments.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like Shane's really good at gift giving. Like
Yeah.
he listens to what you like and then is like very thoughtful about it. Whereas I stress about gifts.
I
I'm
feel
not
like
the
if
biggest
I-
gift like
If I got a gift from you, I feel like it would be like practical.
yeah.
Like it would be
Probably.
like, oh, here's a pack of toilet paper for home. I'd be like, thank you.
Here's some toilet paper, you piece of shit.
Or no, maybe that wasn't a best example.
No. You're actually right because what I want for Christmas is like new kitchenware.
Exactly. I was gonna say like
Yeah.
pots and pans or like a new spatula or something.
Yeah,
like,
I don't like
you
get
give
like
me
gifts
things that
where
are
it's
like I could
ooh.
use like on
Correct.
the everyday life versus yours would be like cool trinkets and
Yes.
like tchotchkes.
That's so true.
Okay. I appreciate that. This last question, I threw this in last night.
Okay.
Which one of us do you think would do better in Snatch Game?
Oh, that's a tough one because you both really just like commit to your characters.
Yeah.
I guess a question too is which Smosh characters, it doesn't have to just be Amanda and I, which Smosh characters do you think would do best in Snatch?
I want a Krungle.
A Krungle.
Oh my god.
Krungle is full on crushing it.
Krungle.
Yeah.
And just like so horny.
So
Yeah.
horny.
Like would be flirting with the other contestants with the with the celebrity
Slapping her
guys.
thigh.
You'd have to hope someone else does like an old celebrity, like an older reference, so that
Yeah.
Krungle's all in on it.
Oh, for sure. But then it would have to be like one that's very like conservative, very whatever, so that you can be the opposite of that.
Exactly.
That's a good one.
Maybe we need to get what's his name, the wizard.
Oh, Dumpster Wizard.
Maybe we need to get them too.
Krungle and Dumpster Wizard,
On
they've
stage.
been together
They've been
before.
together. We've established that there's history
And
there.
there's history there. We don't know if it's good history or bad history. They've definitely kind of dated, but I think it was extremely fucked up and messy. It was a weird time.
Neither of them were sober for the entirety
a
of it.
building almost went down. Like,
Yeah.
I would also like to see Courtney's Sabrina Carpenter.
Really?
yes,
Just so aloof. Just
Yeah.
yes. So
and then Spencer's Fred Darts.
Fred Darts
God.
would actually be really.
say meatloaf?
The fan base that Fred Darts has on the internet is
I
crazy.
love
man.
this.
People apparently some people didn't know that Fred Durst was a real person.
No, it's
They only know Fred Darts.
It's insane to me.
It's like, what did you think he was? You just
Insane to
no
me.
an original character.
Yeah. No, people dressed up as Fred Darts for Halloween. But what's funny is you see their costume and it's like you're just dressed up as Fred
You
Durst.
know you're Fred Durst, right?
You know that's
You're
all
like,
you are.
What? No, I'm Fred Darts.
You're like, no, you did it all for the nookie. You're Fred Durst.
And they're like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, also, I'm assuming like a lot of your fan base is also quite young.
Yes.
So they're learning about references that they only know from you.
That's true. That is true.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Something that we discussed beforehand, and it sounds like you prepared this.
I put thought into this because I was like, oh, I don't want to just give you any name.
Yeah, we've been discussing like, oh, what would our drag names be? And so
Yeah.
you've thought about this now.
I have. So going into this, my criteria for you was I really wanted to play off of your last name, Topp, because
Such a good last name. I
gay
mean,
people love
hello.
tops. And then for you, the highlight was it needs to be a 1, 2, 3 name because
Yep.
you always say how you have a 2 last name.
Yep.
So the names are
Okay.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Anita Topp,
I need a top. Oh my God. That's brilliant.
we have Anita Topp with 2 P's, of course. And then we have Shirley a Bottom. Or Shirley A Bottom,
Stop.
the most powerful duo in Los Angeles.
Wait, this is so good. Of course I'm a bottom.
I think we both are in this situation.
No, honey.
I need a top, Shirley a bottom.
Wow, controversial yet brave take.
Surely a bottom. Oh my God. It's like I want to perform. It's like I want to get ready.
And when you have punny names, it almost opens up the opportunity for you to do stupid numbers and like comedy numbers where it's like a song, and then a phone rings and you're like, hello? And it's like a monologue from something like, I'm gonna kill you. Like, no. And then it's another song. Like, yeah, I could totally see you guys doing that. And also I want to see duo numbers from you too.
Oh my God.
Be pretty cool.
Dude, Shirley a bottom is the best name ever.
Shirley.
I want it like in a plaque behind me.
Shirley A. Bottom.
I need a top. I need a top.
I need a top.
This is so brilliant.
I'm glad y'all like
That's
it.
It's so
incredible.
Oh my gosh, I was
good.
racking my brain. I also have a name for Krungle.
Oh, okay.
Tell me.
Auntie Lynn Chastity.
Auntie Lynn Chastity. Auntie Lynn Chastity. Auntie
Love
Lynn
that.
Chastity.
It's also the same initials
It's
as your name.
so fucking good. ALC.
ALC.
Wow.
Lynn Chastity, except Chastity is chastity belt she would never wear in her life.
Never.
But that's the prop that she always has.
Yes, and it's off.
That's the running joke. It's like, I have it, but I'll never wear it.
Wait, that is so good.
And then the chosen would be Slaytana.
Badass.
And then at the end of all your numbers, it just goes, Slaytana wins.
Yeah.
And then it goes, shing.
Flawless
And
victory.
flawless victory. And that's the end of your number every
love
time.
this so much.
Dude.
I want to see the chosen in heels, like 6-inch
God.
heels.
Thinking that he thinks that he has perfect poise and balance, but he's just falling.
All you hear is just clomping. He's like holding onto his like sword as a staff. I'm going to walk in heels now.
They both have knives as the stilettos.
I was born for this moment.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Slaytana?
Slaytana.
Wow. How long did it take you to come up with all
Yeah.
Is it just like instant?
Literally too long. I was like, they have to be perfect. I was like,
They
I
are
need to come up.
perfect.
They literally are perfect.
And also, I was like, it needs to be a pun because I know you guys would appreciate like a funny joke.
Yes.
And also,
Yeah.
I wanted something that complements each other for the podcast.
Shirley at bottom.
So
I need
Anita top and Shirley a bottom.
It's so perfect. It's so
where
perfect.
the comments are going to be calling those out forever.
Ever.
Yeah.
It's so perfect.
That's awesome. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you
You're so
much.
welcome. I'm glad you like them.
I literally want to perform.
Maybe
Do
soon.
it.
Okay.
Next Smosh video, I put these two in drag.
That would be brilliant.
I joke about it now, but it could be a good idea.
No, actually, that would be freaking brilliant.
That could be cool. I feel like that'd be Courtney's dream.
Oh my god, yeah.
I know. She
Mm-hmm.
would want to be here. Got to figure out Courtney's drag name.
Okay, I'll start thinking.
Okay, start thinking on it.
Oh my god, that's my next assignment,
Yeah, that's your next assignment, among other things.
among many things.
So you mentioned lip syncing earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big part of drag, and
funny.
we have some clips here. Now we couldn't do music because we'll get copyright struck.
Of course.
But we have some clips from Smosh Mouth and just other Smosh videos that we're going to try to lip sync over right now. So if you're just
that.
listening to this, you just get to listen to this clip and imagine us lip syncing it perfectly.
Yeah.
But you could also go on YouTube and watch this part.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be ridiculous.
So one we have, Aurora, I think you and I are going to attempt this. This
Okay.
is Amanda's resume reel.
Okay.
Who's going to be who? Both of you are going to go at the same time?
I think we can go one at a time. We can go back and forth until one of us nails it.
And I just get to watch.
We can do a couple takes of it.
I get to watch
Yeah.
and cringe.
For those who maybe didn't see this episode, this was you recorded this. This is fake, or these are real news stories?
These are real news stories.
So you are recounting real news stories as a field reporter.
Because very similar to you, Aurora, my mom was like, instead of giving me the option, she was like, you can't go to theater school. What are you talking about? You're going to go and do a real job. And I was like, okay. So I was prepping to be a news reporter for a while, and this is a reel that I had to make. So it's like 4 a.m. So I'm just like subbing in my story into these real news stories. And this reel, when I showed my friends and family, they're like, this is funny. And I was like, that's not supposed to
You're
be
like,
funny.
no, this was
Not the goal.
serious.
So it's cringe city. And here we go.
Okay. Let's listen to it first.
Okay.
really
Okay,
quick.
let's listen to it. Great.
The victims inside this house say the two suspects came in, tied them up, held them at gunpoint, and then used their walkie-talkies to signal the getaway car. That worker fell halfway down a 20-foot shaft while working on this tunnel over here. His foot was pinned between a pipe and the ladder that he fell off of.
This is so sad. This is the saddest shit that you guys are gonna
like,
live.
No,
sorry
but
to
you
laugh
gotta-
at it, but
You gotta work while doing this.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Do you want me to attempt it first? Do you want to try to attempt it?
are we like doing it like back to back? As it goes to the next clip, you just go right into the next.
I feel like you just go into the next clip.
Yeah, why not?
I feel like it's.
Yeah.
I feel like that's.
Okay, I'll see. I'll watch you do it first.
Okay. This is gonna be bad, but let me attempt this.
The victims inside this house say the two suspects came in, tied them up, held them at gunpoint, and then used their walkie-talkies to signal the getaway car. That worker fell halfway down a 20-foot shaft while working on this tunnel over here. His foot was pinned between a pipe and the ladder that he fell off of.
Oh my God, Shayne, I'm unsure. What? It was like
I'm okay.
Your hand did more lip
it
syncing
felt
than
like
your
a
mouth.
bad. It felt like a bad video game where it was like off.
See, we're showing how hard this is.
Okay,
I remembered certain words, but you're talking so fast.
you did a good job. I had to because it's a news story.
It's live. It's,
It's
it's the
live.
news.
A man got pinned.
No, but good on you. You went first.
Yeah, well done.
Tried. Do you want to attempt
Shall
it?
I try? Okay.
Okay.
Hi, camera. I'm ready.
All right. Here we go.
The victims inside this house say the two suspects came in, tied them up, held them at gunpoint, and then used their walkie-talkies to signal the getaway car. That worker fell halfway down a 20-foot shaft while working on this tunnel over here. His foot was pinned between a pipe and the ladder that he fell off of.
I thought you were gonna go like
Okay. You did it way better than
this.
me.
And you killed it because you ended all the last words.
It's the last word.
It's the last words where you go,
You also added physicality as opposed to me over here just like.
I feel like you were flirting with the camera.
I didn't know what I was doing. I was desperate. I was the broken country bear at Disneyland. Where they're like,
All I remember is use their walkie-talkies to signal the getaway car.
The getaway car.
Come get me.
That was so good.
Do you guys want to attempt the? This one's a little easier. This is the Chosen getting slapped.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. This is a lot easier, I
Let's
think.
hear it and maybe see it.
So, you actually showed up. Gotta be honest, I wasn't positive you would. All right. Well, it's time for your first challenge. I want you to try to hit me. But here's... Oh! Okay, I wasn't ready yet.
Got it.
All right. Which one of you wants to go?
I can go first.
You can go first.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to do terrible after I just made fun of you forever.
Here we go.
So, you actually showed up. Gotta be honest, I wasn't positive you would. All right. Well, it's time for your first challenge. I want you to try to hit me. But here's... Oh! Okay, I wasn't ready yet.
Okay.
Oh my God, nailed the facials. Oh my God.
I was like,
And you did what I love about lip syncing is when you get close to an audience member when you're lip syncing, you hear the mouth noises. So when you're like grabbing a tip from someone and you're like really lip syncing, you just hear the.
I bet that's so awkward.
So even during just like the you just hear.
They give you the tip and they're just like, oh.
And you're like,
Just a lot of mouth noises.
that is so hilarious.
Watermelon, cantaloupe, watermelon, cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe, watermelon. Okay, let's give this
Okay,
a try.
your
Attempt
turn.
this? Okay, here we go.
The Chosen.
So, you actually showed up. Gotta be honest, I wasn't positive you would. All right. Well, it's time for your first challenge. I want you to try to hit me. But here's... Oh! Okay, I wasn't ready yet.
Oh my God.
Nailed.
Brilliant. No, you were so good.
I feel like it showed more emotion than The Chosen usually would.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was your
But it's-
That was chosen internally.
That was Chosen in drag.
Yeah.
That was chosen in drag. Oh my God, you're so good at like the emotion and the timing where you're like right back to the camera.
I was like, okay, I wasn't ready for that.
Man. Okay, so our last clip we're going to attempt is the famous Harambe clip. It's a long one.
Okay.
So we're really going to have to pull it together for this.
and I'm
And this one's full dialogue.
This is full dialogue.
and I'm you.
And we're going to swap it all. So you're going to be me, I'm going to be you, you'll be Trevor.
I'll be Trevor. Trevor was, I think we're about the same age.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we both
17?
we
Yeah,
we
17
both
years
were
old.
like quite young when this happened, and just like this was the talk of the town.
Oh my God.
Everybody was
Everyone was talking about it, honestly.
Listen.
Everybody in this building was like,
Listen.
Amanda, you're crazy.
Amanda, everyone
People
was
from
talking
home were like,
about it.
what is wrong with you? I remember that.
But hey, we've now learned that Angela also didn't know about Harambe,
Exactly.
and she got
Two
off.
truths, one lie.
Angela
She got off.
completely got away with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
She exposed herself.
She
I think the 9/11 2011 thing is still what people are focused on. I think people let Harambe slide for her.
Where were you during 9/11?
Okay. This one starts off quick.
So we're going.
We're just gonna go.
Yeah, let's just go.
I'm gonna do really bad at this.
I'm going to do really bad. You can't watch it.
I'm
during
just sitting here
this.
just watching it.
Yeah,
while
that would
doing
be
it.
so
okay, I'm just
unfair.
gonna hold it up. I'm not gonna look at it.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Right off the bat.
Have you ever heard of Harambe?
No.
You've never heard of Harambe? Okay, I can't believe you've never heard of Harambe. He was a gorilla that was at
I'm
the.
from Massachusetts.
He was at the Cincinnati Zoo. It's okay. It's okay.
Are you lying?
I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you a true story.
You lie a lot.
I'm not. I'm telling you a true story.
Okay,
Amanda.
okay.
I believe it was the Cincinnati Zoo,
Okay.
and a boy somehow snuck in and fell into the gorilla pit.
Okay.
Harambe comes up. He's curious. He's looking at the kid. He's just kind of looking at him, whatever. They then shot Harambe. It's sad. They shot Harambe and they killed him.
Why are we laughing?
I'm laughing because this is an insane story that I've processed years ago.
Why would they shoot him? He didn't want to do anything. He was probably talking to him.
You're now dealing with the trauma that everyone else dealt with.
Harambe deserved to live.
I know.
Is there a protest that I could go to? How old is that kid now?
I
will find him. Wow, that was hard.
Wait, that was so strange because I kept looking at Shayne when you were talking, but then it was...
I know, me too. I was like waiting to do my lines.
I couldn't decide which person to look at.
Oh.
But I feel like that was Trevor. He was just laughing.
My heart died in that moment.
Yeah.
I just relived that.
I actually felt what you were experiencing there.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you really did make such a valid point of like, we've already processed all of this.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, why are you laughing?
And Amanda in that moment was like, what?
Yeah.
Happening.
That's really hard to process something so way later when it's like
that
we already
happened?
did this.
Yeah, it's not shocking to us.
Yeah, we closed the door on this. We got closure
Yeah.
somehow, and I didn't. So I had to
Yeah.
relive that for months after that.
But now you're fully aware of the whole situation.
I've made closure.
You've done all your research on it.
Yeah, I found him. It's taken care of.
You did the thing. You did the ending of Zodiac where you just knocked on his door, he opens up, and you're just like, that's all I needed to see.
He's the
and you walk
Creekside
away.
Killer.
He's the Creekside Killer.
Yes.
The little boy.
We found him.
Killer.
You tap into this other register in your voice.
It's kind of my mom when she's angry.
Does your mom really sound like that?
Oh yeah, she's like, girls, get out of here.
Oh my God, Mama Canto is scary.
Mama Canto is, yeah. If you step on her foot, she's like, my body, that hurts.
Everything is talked through a groan. Just,
Exactly. It's that and also like every detective ever, but a lot of it's my mom when she's very angry. Yep.
Wow.
So I can jump right into that. Pretty cool.
This has been incredible.
Oh my God.
I know.
It's been so much
It's
fun.
like I feel like I only learned like 20% of you, and I just want to know everything. So this, I don't know. Maybe
We,
have to have
we
you
covered
back.
a good range. I feel like we
Yes.
sprinkled a little bit of every aspect of my life. into
Yeah.
this podcast.
Absolutely.
It was. I just think that you're incredible, and like you manifested everything that you had.
Thank you.
And you just, everyone was like, okay, well, if you do this, you can't do this, and you're like, this is what I want to do. I think it's such a gift to know what you want to do, and you're f***ing doing it, and you look unbelievable doing it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, still, it's gonna take me a long time to process. Like, oh, I actually did this.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
As
here.
our biggest fan.
I'm here at Smosh. It's crazy. You guys are real people, not just characters in a YouTube video.
yeah. Well,
Yeah. Well.
we're gonna disappear when you leave here.
Yeah. We
Literally,
fade.
we yell cut, and you just
We fade to mist.
and fade to black.
Well, thank you so much for being here. This was
you for
really
having
so
me.
cool. Where can people like find you? Do you have social platforms?
Yeah,
Aurora
you can
Matrix.
find me on Instagram at Aurora Matrix. Aurora like the princess, Matrix like the movie. I also have my own podcast. With my two sisters. It's called The Powder Room, featuring the Powder Puff Girls.
Yes.
And what I love about the podcast is it's kind of just like a fly on the wall listening in on three besties talking our shit, talking about the drag scenes, talking about honestly everything and anything. So check that out. We're on our season 2 now, so we're going to be recapping the new season of Canada's Drag Race season 5 weekly.
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh
So
my
get
God.
our hot takes on a brand new episode of Drag Race every week.
And your friend's on season 5.
And my friend is on season 5, so we get to hear her.
Cool.
Your friend
take-
who's on the podcast is also on season 5.
And she did all of my wigs on my season. It's-
Okay.
There's
Wow.
so much to get into. So yeah, check out the Powder Room. Check out my Instagram at Aurora Matrix, and you can always just find where I'm going to be performing on my Instagram.
Very cool.
This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. All right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.